The stock and bond market have shown a lot of volatility. It's unprecedented, and it's making those nearing retirement and those in retirement worried about their investments. If that's you, we have some advice. Welcome financial advisor Jonathon McCoy of Market Advisory Group. Thank you so much for your time, for being here today.
Absolutely.
I know I've seen my 401k portfolio. I mean, it's had better days, but with the markets in turmoil like they are, what advice would you give to somebody who is close to retirement and they're just really concerned about their financial livelihood?
Yeah, so in our office, we throw around the term the retirement red zone all the time. One of our financial advisors, Larry Clefcorn, sticks to that pretty strictly.
And 20 yards out?
Well, you think about the red zone in football, right?
Yeah.
Well, in retirement, you're looking at basically the 5 years before you retire and the 5 years after you retire.
Okay.
That's the key 10-year period of time to not take big losses.
Yeah.
You're getting close to needing to not necessarily lock in your portfolio, but you're going to need to have something steady that you can rely on for an income stream through these periods of market volatility.
So what are some rules to live by when it comes to us getting in that red zone or getting close to retirement?
Well, you have to be thinking about how much money is it going to take you to get through a certain period of time. So when we're building financial plans for folks, we're looking at, okay, what do the first 3 to 5 years of retirement look like? For most people, that's when they're going to be in their heaviest spending years. If you think about it, you're not going to be traveling, remodeling your house, buying a new car every few years when you're in your 80s.
Yeah.
Those things still continue on when you're in your early to mid 60s, maybe even your early 70s. So those higher spending years, it's important to make sure that you've got some sort of relatively secure income producing asset that can get you through those years, especially when we go through a market downturn like we're seeing this year.
I mean, you're retired, you're not going to just plant yourself at home. You want to get out and do things, right?
That's
You want to
exactly
see the
right.
world. So we do have a viewer question coming up next. This one is from Mike L. Mike asks, I know I need to keep my money growing, but with recent volatility, I felt moving to a cash position was my best bet to ride out the roller coaster. What can I do to keep my money growing, but make sure I am safe from a bigger market crash? So did Mike just take all of his money out, got some cash under the mattress here, or what's Mike doing? What's Mike's best bet?
Well, in his position, actually, after chatting with Mike, we'd realized that he had moved his mutual fund investments to essentially money market inside of his IRA.
Sure.
And he's just, again, like you said, waiting it out. Ultimately, what we have to look at is, yes, there are asset classes that can continue growing even during a down market. Now, you have to look at the fact, like you mentioned, the stock and the bond market are both getting hammered, but those are not the only two areas to be investing. So once again, what we focus on here at Market Advisory Group is working with a tax team, the financial advisors, the Medicare advisors that can help us through the health insurance questions, and our estate planning team for the very long term. What's going to happen to your assets at the end of life and while you're still living? Who's there to help take care of your needs and circumstances financially and medically if you're incapacitated? So having that holistic team in-house is one of the biggest things that we focus on. So to Mike, my best answer would be make sure you're working with a team, but also from a financial planning standpoint, make sure that you've got some asset that can continue producing the income that you need to live on so that you don't have to make some of these fear-based adjustments sometimes at the worst possible time. All
right, well, good tips and advice right there. Thank you very much. To schedule a complimentary consultation and submit questions, visit AskOurAdvisor.com or call 816-548-2000. They'll take your questions and even meet one-on-one free of charge. If you include your address, Market Advisory Group will also send you a free gift.